Hey Ken, I'm going to take a look at your week 1 assignment 2 project here. First thing off, I think just from the written component that you turned in, I think you've got a really good attitude about all of this. You seem really open to working with the materials, the fact that you're kind of doing a little bit more than the bare minimum and trying to work out problems that you're running into. From my standpoint is great because it's just something that I don't want to seem cynical, but don't seem to see it as much as I would like. So just reading the written component you gave was terrific. The marker stuff that you have in place, I think, is also very, very good. The colored pencil stuff and the marker stuff are showing, I think, a very good understanding of the technique and of the materials and how to use them. The technique-driven stuff on the top, they're both very good. I really like the blind in these, and I almost think that if this is kind of chronological in that we're going, these at the top were first and these were second, we're seeing a lot of issues already starting to be resolved. Edge quality is just a little bit better on the bottom ones. The stroke tends to be a little bit more consistent, I think, in that they're stopping and they're starting at the same positions relatively well. But both show, I think, a really good handle of the marker. The stroke that you're making seems like it's using the full extent of the chisel, so you're getting a lot of surface area being hit with the marker, and so less strokes are being made. We're not seeing any white gaps in between the strokes, which is also very good, and you're cutting your edges nice and clean. Side to side shows some really consistent coverage overall. You're definitely saturating the page because you're getting it to buckle, which is going to happen. You might be able to ease up a little bit on the saturation, and eventually you'll start to get a better idea of how much marker goes into the paper before it starts to warp a lot. It's going to warp, a little bit just because the paper is so thin, but your results are definitely positive. It's very even, it's very smooth, and like I said, it's very consistent overall. The colored pencil stuff I actually think are looking very, very good. You have two very different materials at play here. Colored pencil is almost always going to leave a texture that marker just isn't. Marker is really fluid, it's very vibrant, and it just can cover very seamlessly. And the colored pencil is always going to catch a little bit of the tooth of the paper. It's going to feel a little grittier, a little grainier. So you have to kind of accept that they're not going to play completely well together. They work well together in that they're both very transparent materials, and they can kind of be used to create some nice effects, especially detail work with the colored pencil, but you're not going to get them to look the same, which they shouldn't. They're different. So I thought you did a good job with both of these. You're showing us some great use of gradient, where you're going from very dark to lighter and lighter. Good use of white as in a highlight, some subtle stuff going on here, and then a little bit more aggressive use of the colored pencil down here. So I think it's a good showing overall. It shows us a lot of different ways to deal with the materials, and I think they actually look about as good as I would expect of anybody for the very first assignment. So it's a really nice start. I think you're doing a good job. You're following through with the technique. Things look very clean, very, very vibrant, and I don't know. I can't give you much other than to just keep at it, and we'll see you for your next assignment in a few days.